turtle's not big enough for this guy. Like you'll need like bits of the flesh, really, I guess, so you could grab. And also, do you really want your turtle to get a taste for a human?
That's true.
Especially
No,
after.
Man-eating turtle.
It is a dragon turtle inherently. It's just miniature.
no. Bjorn will just kind of like look at Ronnie and go, "Ow," and saunter over to Arthur. What the fuck? And kind of look down at Arthur and go, "Stupid, stupid dragonborn," and then help him to his feet.
Well, it could have been worse. A lot worse.
Yeah, could have been. Could have been dead. But you're alright for now. Still be a good idea for you to get some
And-
rest and patch you up.
And I thank you, buddy. Do you think this is a good opportunity for us just to go back to port at this point?
I mean,
Bjorn just looks at Ronnie and goes, "Oh," and just sits on the table like, "Yeah." And
I'm sorry,
just
what?
to give you guys,
You're
Bjorn's
gonna
gonna
sit on a table?
no, Bjorn's gonna sit next to the table.
Like on the ledge, on the edge of it?
No, like right
There's
where
no
he's at.
chairs.
He's just gonna kind of like
Oh, okay,
flop
okay.
to it.
I thought you said
And
you were gonna
look at-
sit on the table.
No, he's gonna
My
sit
bad.
next where
No
he's
problem.
at near the table. Because Bjorn is currently at 57 hit points.
Okay. There's no chairs next to that table, by the way. You
Oh,
do
he's
see,
just not around.
you all see as Yero, this symphony member, sprouts wings. She doesn't care who you are anymore. They have these dragonfly wings that sort of come out iridescent in all shape, double their size. It doesn't match really. They rush over to the first guy. They kind of flick him over. They go over to the other guy. They kind of flick that guy over with like ease. Like they're like lifting him up, looking around on their person. They're like trying to shake something off of them, and it's not coming off. They go to this one. They throw that guy. They go to that guy. They ignore him, and they rush over. And then they grab the phone, the flux light, light flux, as it is called. She grabs it. She's looking at it for a minute. She's trying to decipher it. She gets through a couple screens, and it seems like she's locked there. Not that any of you can see what's happening on that side. She eventually just turns it off, and it turns into this little cube, like a sugar cube thing. It's lacking opacity, very see-through in many fashions. But she sort of just holds it up, looks to you guys, and says, "All right, I think they didn't send the message out. We should be safe, at least for a couple minutes, from any sort of interference. We shouldn't stay longer here. Also, why is it so dark?"
Yeah, so, I'm assuming that what was up in the sky was some sort of larger ship or something. It was putting out artificial light.
It's
But,
still up there.
Question. Why was the Emperor's men putting a hit out on us?
Because Bjorn escaped from captivity and threatened him.
Yeah, from what I know. And excuse me for being so blunt with it, but he wants your body, and then he wants you dead, and then anyone associated with you he also wants dead for no reason at all. So yeah, you're targeted by Emperor Loom, someone that I've been trying to get into good graces of so I could figure out their plans with an AN. Luckily, hopefully, it's still intact, and I could claim that you have bested their group and me with some magic and sword pointing at Carzer. That will be more than sufficient in my secrecy? Am I keeping my
We'll look
undercover?
at her, and he'll kind of like pull up his sleeve and show he'll flash her the Leviathan's symbol, and he'll just say, "Why don't you tell the Emperor that Captain Richter Steele sends his regards and robbed him blind?"
Okay, I will say Richter Steele was involved in this. She writes it down in a piece of paper, as Kevin is looking for a piece of paper to write it down in. Actually, yes.
And Arthur kind of like says to the others, "Now seems like a pretty good time to leave. Don't you think?"
Arthur, if you want to go back over to port, that's fine and dandy. But I think that literally I could go to Aeon, and it'd probably be like a ship's ride, maybe a day or two, something like that.
Yes, but what would the Emperor do to our ship?
Ship is protected.
ship's
He's also
important.
like, yeah. Like, what
ship's
can he do to
important.
your ship? You guys have guards in there and everything. You're fine.
Bjorn will, hearing Arthur be so concerned with going back to port, Bjorn will look at Ronny and kind of stand up, leaning on his axe, bleeding, bloody, and go, "I made a promise to you, Ronny, as a brother. Where you go, I go." And he'll reach out and like clasp Ronny's arm.
Thanks, Bjorn. I think my family would love to meet you. They're good folks.
Bjorn's not leaving.
What? Repeat that?
Bjorn's not going to leave Ronny. He made a promise to Ronny.
Oh, okay.
Easier to be a promise more better than Dragonborn.
Hierro says, right. So, I'm gonna leave a crater where this place was. If whenever you're ready to leave, sooner the better, so I could get the job done, and then I could go probably fight Reverie or Ririsu or Hisui, depending what exactly. Maybe magical one. Maybe I could talk to Wiser or no. I'll just don't worry. I'll take care of it. Really, what I'll do is I'll leave a hole where this place is. This is the Emperor's summer home. We are in Aeon. Random number that I assigned it earlier. I think it was 14 or 7. I forget. 7. There you go.
Yeah,
I knew it was
7.
one of those. We are in Aeon 7, which is not that far from Aeon itself. I could give you guys a ride if you want. Probably take like 3 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
If you can handle dealing with my sort of travel.
Bjorn just nods and looks at Ronny and just goes, "I need to rest."
My mother runs a tavern, and there's rooms that you can stay in. Wouldn't be any problem. We got enough space. Kind of an inn.
In Aeon? I would love a place to rest.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Make some of the best coffee, best pies in pretty much all of Aeon.
Okay. So, like, stuff outside of the planets is pretty rough. I don't know what your situations are in port. I know they're pretty heavily overwatched, space and air-wise. Aeon is a little more obtrusive. It definitely is unforgiving. When I eat you, you will have the chance to, if we ever come across problems like pirates, or maybe if something's trying to hunt me or something, it'd be super great if you just like I saw that you have like magic and weaponry that you could shoot. Maybe not you so much. She's pointing to Bjorn and Arthur. Maybe not you so much. That could really help in that situation, but you could use my gills effectively to just shoot through from the inside. It's really weird for me to describe it. You kind of have to be there, kind of situation. So whenever you're ready, if we're ready to get out of here, we should.
Bjorn's gonna look at her and go, "Wait, you said eat, like swallow, and then."
No one the whale situation. Yeah, I'll have you in my belly where you'll be safe enough.
Is there any part of that doesn't digest us?
I will not digest you. No, you will die immediately if I try to digest you.
Okay, so new plan. We take up her offer, head to Imali, find Ronny's relative, use my final wish or someone else's wish to get us a portal back to port.
Wait, you could just wish us to places? Let's just wish to be in Aeon then. Isn't that a simpler solution?
What our comrade is implying
Arthur
about...
telepathically talks to Ronny and tells him to tell her.
It's a sort of magic that comes with a cost, and we're trying to save it for rainy days. I think that taking your offer is more than suitable, although I would have preferred a ship. But gotta say, there's a first time for everything.
Well, let's get started.
You like ships? I could make it look like it's a ship. Sort of.
I love ship.
Yeah.
But, I'll let you use your good judgment.
All right.
We're good here, though. I think we've pretty much robbed the place blind.
Yeah. It's just... And she goes to the other room. She goes to this thing.
Carzer and be like, "Oh, you go downstairs. Bag of holding. You weapons. Good time."
Carzer, are you looking for any items that may or may not be in the player's handbook or related stuff? This place...
I would like to go... You said maybe downstairs would be a good place to look?
Yeah. If you want, you could take this door downstairs. The door is open and it is leading to a downstairs from where you are looking. Ronny, you know if he was to go that way, it is trapped.
Carzer, if you go that way, it's completely and totally trapped. Tripwires mainly. Do you want me to guide you down there?
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, right. Come on then. And Ronny will kind of wave him along, and he'll take him the safe route, avoiding tripwires and pressure plates.
You could go this route easily enough as well. Is just the fact of removing the trap if you wish. It's just interacting with it is a problem. If you want to avoid interacting with it, then I understand, because sometimes tripping them can cause them to happen. If you do not so good.
Ronny will disarm it.
Disarm. Yeah, go for it. Thieves, tools. Check. Yeah, more than enough. That is enough. Yeah. This one was meant for, like, if one of the Emperor's guys needed a quick out, they could also disarm it really easily. But your 12 is more than enough for you to disarm it. You guys go downstairs. You make it all the way to the other floor, which is for Carzer. It is just here, up to the north. And you will see that there is, on this box, there's a cage with hands that are walking around very close to the Addams family kind of fella. This one has a couple roosters that are all headless. They seem to be devoid of heads, yet they act as if they are eating, and the feed goes into the air magically, and then somehow goes down the gullet. Very interesting. This one is empty, it's just sand. These are revived rodents. They're just skeletal looking mice. And in this one is a Hydra eel. One Hydra eel. It has 3 heads. Other than that, directly under each of those things are a bunch of cabinets and drawers, all labeled up and down. You see weapons +1 to +7. Some of them have already been taken out from their drawer. You can tell pretty quickly from the 7 drawer, as it is upside down, that it was an empty drawer and it had to be flipped upside down so you can see what's under it. And either way, there seems to be spikes that have ejected out of each one of those drawers, besides the ones that they haven't opened, which is like 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Because why would you go for the low numbers? There is magical components, magical mechanical devices, but really what you're looking for might just be here. Do you need something specifically? Do you want something?
I want something specifically.
What do you want?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know if you'll let me have it.
What is it? Might be here, might not.
A bag of tricks?
No. Can't have more than 1 bag of tricks in this game. So sorry. Lunara has to die before you could get a bag of tricks.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yep.
Want that to happen.
Let's see. What else do I need? Do I have any spells that require weird components? I don't think I do.
You find a couple drawers with orc. That's it, orcs. Yeah, orcs. Orc tusks. You see some with elves' ears. You see gnome toes in one of them. Very tiny little toes. You find a drawer with an assortment of horns, and it is labeled tiefling. Nothing. It just says tiefling on it. And by the amount in there and the different shapes and sizes, it had to have come from like 20 different tieflings. Whether they were donated or picked up after death. Were they stolen or shaved off of someone? You don't know what the reasoning or how it came to be. Either way, you do find a lot of...
Carzer closes his eyes and kind of bows his head when he sees the drawer and whispers a prayer to himself.
Either way, all the stuff here is black market stuff, effectively. But you have your plus choice, I'll say, for some of this stuff.
Let's see. Would there be anything that would improve my AC in any of these rooms?
Your AC?
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be. I'll say that probably over here there'd be a cabinet with a set of bracers. These bracers are not magical in any way, shape, or form, but they still add to your AC. It seems that because of that, their functionality is potent. But they can be broken given the right conditions. You'd have to take an immense amount of fire damage or some sort of specific attack towards it could be made. But yeah, you have gauntlets that effectively give you a +3 AC. Nothing more. Yeah. It's just breakable. It has a breakable feature. It's not magic. So if a beholder shows up and tries to spot you on it, it's not going to bother it.
All right. Good deal.
Mm-hmm. I'll write it up. I'll send it to you later, but you could act as if you have +3. All the other things are not going to happen, I guarantee you. I don't think you'll take a shit ton of fire damage this game. Well, I don't know. We're going to space. Anything could happen in space.
That's true.
But I'm assuming you guys. I'll give you a bag of holding because you've been spending enough time here, and I'll send that to you later. This way, everyone has a bag of holding. Very nice. But yeah, is there any business you guys want to do here other than that? You guys have the ledger already. You guys took all the stuff that you guys wanted. Maybe at the end of this, you use those bags of holding to throw the rest of the stuff in there. I don't know. It's up to you. Like, does Bjorn spend 10 minutes to take out every single one of the plus weapons to put in the guitar case?
I think Bjorn at this point is kind of looking at Ronny and Carzer like, what do we want? And he's like ready to scoop into the bag.
Yeah.
Like looking at him like,
honestly, I mean, we could always take all this stuff and either give it to our men back on the Savior, or we could sell it once we get back to port. I mean, they're always hurting for different quality items, and they'd probably pay top dollar for it. If we don't
so I think
need it.
Bjorn, with Ronny's help, kind of clear everything out of this place and put them in our bag.
Even like the orc tusks and stuff, elves' ears.
No, that stuff, I don't think we would take it. I think that's stuff that's
It's worth a lot of money.
Obviously, it was gotten.
Yeah, I was about to say that
Yeah,
shit's
but
worth a lot of money.
Ronny, I don't know. Ronny will look at all that stuff and basically be like, this Emperor guy is into some bad shit. I mean, I'm surprised the Federation hasn't locked his ass away a long time ago. Shouldn't be surprised by this crap, but Bjorn, I tell you, man, it doesn't sit well with my stomach. We're probably decent folks.
Bjorn will sit there and be like, well, why don't we give them proper burial then?
Yeah, gonna do that.
Arthur's gonna bring his mouth open and flames start coming out.
He's gonna start flaming the shit out of random drawers.
Arthur, they wouldn't want to be here. They wouldn't want to be here. Let's not leave them here where they were butchered.
Yero says,
take them back.
I'll destroy this place, don't worry, there's gonna be nothing left.
I suggest we take their advice and start getting there. Let's just do what we can. Healing potion. Do we have anything? Healing potions?
You guys took all that stuff already.
Alright.
Yeah. I haven't sent you your assortment of potions just because I forgot about them, but I remember just now. But
okay.
Are we gonna take a long rest?
We
That's
can
up
probably
to
once we
you.
get inside of the dragon.
We'll take it on the back of the dragon.
No, you will not be on my back.
We will
Sorry.
be inside said dragon.
Sorry,
Yeah, we'll be
inside
pitching
the
a
dragon.
right.
Can you survive in outer space? You'd want to be inside of me then.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, that came
Yeah,
out
it
wrong.
And Bjorn, hearing that, would kind of look at her, and like he's still got his axe in his hand, and he's gonna look at her and go, "My axe takes things from dragons."
Oh, me too.
Nope.
She laughs in a very creepy way.
Arthur looks at Bjorn and tells him, no.
Every
He's gonna look
dragon
at her.
I eat, I get to be. She smiles at you wide.
And he just looks at her and goes, "My worry is if for any reason I climb in and my axe touches you."
I'm not a dragon, I'm a Diowada.
Is the axe acting funny around her
It is.
anymore?
Yeah, it is still actively warning you that there's a dragon around.
Does Ronny know what she's talking about? Does
Yeah.
he recognize that word?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. This individual is, like I said, probably the most famous of the Symphony members, alone for the reason that they cause so much issues. And they've been. It's been circulated that their abilities seem to be that of dragon transformations, so they can turn into like different types of dragons, which is why it's so hard to catch this individual. In some of the planets they're probably not allowed to be in, because those wanted signs probably have like more of a thin swirly dragon, and then the next one on the other planet down, it'd have like this fat behemoth of a monster dragon. It's always different. Sorry.
Or a dragon, or a human with a dragon for a head.
I mean, that has not been caught in the pictures yet, but if someone found it and then drew it up, I'm sure they would. But as they've been spotted from afar doing something or another, you can recognize that this individual is a Diowada, simply a metamorphosis type individual. They're always becoming stronger with their feed. Whatever they eat just makes them stronger. And while they do have an original form, they're more like behemoths. They're more like mountains, these things. An original Diowada is such a lazy and slow thing. They probably take 100 years to mature, and then spend another 1,000 years in that same exact space, just because they don't really need to do much, and the more movement they do, the more they have to, again, feed. This Diowada does not care to stand still. They love to move around. They do not know how to stand still, in fact. And in that regard, they sort of had to placate their own hunger. And hunting dragons is never a new thing. And Diowadas is just a magical dragon. Effectively making them maybe a little more, how would I say, dangerous, higher in the they're the apex predators of the dragons. There you go. Yep, they're high up in the chain.
Yeah,
tip top.
Ronny will look at Bjorn. Bjorn, I know what she is from hearsay. Over the time I've spent in this area, she's like a shapeshifter, something you've probably never fought before, and the fact that she's the way she is tells me that she's probably been around a long time, like probably like Ange level a long time. So
and Bjorn will look at Ronny and be like, okay, but if she were to touch my blade of my axe,
She grabs your blade.
and Bjorn just kind of looks at her like, what the fuck?
She cuts
and
it.
Bjorn
She cuts herself. She heals immediately. And she says,
Bjorn's trying to see if the axe reacts in any way to the fact that she now has like put her blood onto it.
no more than it has been. And again, it's just warning you. It's like, dude, there's a dragon. There's a dragon right there. That's a dragon.
yeah, it's kind of like Bilbo's
It's
blade.
it's just like a little bit reverberation. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. No, it doesn't seem to want to hurt me. It does look pretty powerful, this thing. It looks like a feeder too, actually. Hold on. She takes the weapon from your hand faster than you could even think about it, and then she chops off her own arm. And you see the weapon sort of so it just grows slightly. It just like expands just a little bit, and then she tosses it back to you. It does kind of work. I mean, I'm gonna heal, but yeah, I don't think it could hurt me anymore now.
Bjorn will kind of look at her and go, this axe has a twin. It was lost many years ago.
I wouldn't know anything about that. But what are the elements on your weapon?
I have lightning and acid.
Acid. You have fire as well now, and you have 3 charges of it.
Oh shit!
And Ronnie insight her. Does she really not know anything about what Bjorn's talking about? Does she seem to recognize the axe? I mean, she's been around for a long time, or at least what Ronnie would assume would be for a long time.
She spent a bit of time looking at the axe before she decided to lob off her own hand, which is growing rapidly as we speak, sort of like blood tendrils that form into a reddish hand that slowly form into the color that she's taking on right now. But yeah, it's make the insight check. She has no idea.
15. No idea. Okay.
Yeah. But she does say, cool, if all you are ready and we don't want to be here in this planet anymore, let's go. I say.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, let's take me home.
And, like, starts hopping in, like, alright. Arthur also telepathically communicates to Ronnie and asks him, are we going to take her back to port, or are we just gonna stay there?
I don't think we're in any position to take her anywhere. She's taking us places. And honestly, with her being Symphony, I mean, I think we can trust her, but she's a wild card.
No, I'm not talking about her. No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, who are you talking about?
Your mother.
Oh,
the person we've been...
Well, I'm still kind of working out how that would work in my head, Arthur. To be honest with you,
I haven't. Are you saying that telepathically back, or are you saying that with your mouth?
Ronnie will say it out loud, just in front of the rest of the guys. I honestly haven't really thought all that through. I mean, I want her to come with us. I think that it would be a hell of a lot safer, considering she doesn't really know that I do what I do, or at least I assume she doesn't know. I kind of kept it all hush-hush before I left home. I kind of lied. Told her I was joining up with the guild. So she has no idea about all the pirate business, and that I'm wanted, and there's a bounty on my head, and I'm in all sorts of shit.
Arthur telepathically talked to him, but haven't told him, well, you technically did.
Gray area. But, point being is that, you know, she needs my help, and, I don't trust the lot that are back in Aeon. There's some pretty bad dudes there that, you know, they get away with a lot because they have money.
I get type. Several ways to sell you out. As my cousin that did business there used to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of that on Aeon. I mean, the place isn't perfect. I mean, there's lawmakers, but even the lawmakers usually are corrupted. I mean, I don't want to say it's lawless over there, but just watch your money, watch your possessions. Don't put a target on yourself, if at all possible. But I know a lot of the locals there. A lot of the locals know me. So,
Arthur,
as long as I'm around...
Arthur asked telepathically, are they good no or bad no? And please think the answer.
Ronnie will think back. It just kind of depends. It depends on who you're asking. I mean, there's small folks that are decent people, like my mother, like, you know, shop owners, things like that. But then there's people that are, you know, like me, who, you know, are bandits. They steal, you know, they're pirate types. Then there's even worse than that. You know, there's people like the Emperor. There's people like Richter. I mean, it just depends on whose pockets are being lined and whose aren't. Can't really give you a black and white answer.
Okay, so So what you're saying is we should leave quickly as soon as we enter.
I'm not saying that we're in immediate danger, at least I don't think I am, unless Richter has guys out there waiting for me, but I didn't really tell Richter too much about who I was before I joined his crew. He just knew that I was a kid in need of money and looking for somebody to show me how I can get it fast, and I just excelled. So I don't know. I don't know if he looked for my mom, or if he looked for my family's home, or if he knew really to dig and where. I mean, he very likely didn't.
Or he bought her at all. Or whether or not he borrows at all. We can continue this discussion back. We can continue this discussion.
Yeah, I'll tell you more later. Let's get out of here. Let's make our way there. The longer my mom has to wait on this money that I've got, the worse off she is, and I'm afraid that she'll make a decision that's pretty stupid in my absence, to be honest.
Maybe
she's a good person. She just trusts way too freely.
Well, that just makes things a little bit easier for us.
Yero looks to all of you when you've all stepped outside through the front door, which is here, I imagine. There is a space vessel that seems to be 20 yards away, 20 meters away. Definitely a skiff of some sort. It has the capabilities of space flight if you wish to abscond with it. Although definitely much slower than the dragon princess lady here. She is a royalty, in fact. The one thing about the Owadas that makes them ever more special, since a lot of them happen to be in the royal line, they do have that immutable form. But they themselves could change it however which way they desire. In other words, someone tries to cast polymorph at them, they're just gonna laugh. But
Ronny has a thought. Would she be possibly related to Leto or Leto's wife somehow?
No, this is a whole different system.
No.
The Owadas are from the Aeon system. They've never even been to the port system, but to the Zero system. But as this individual becomes, they will be a 30-foot tall, 20-foot wide electric dragon of some sort. It has yellow and black spots on it. It's yellow with black spots on it. They have a bit of how would I say, metallic whiskers across and around them. Some of the scales look like they're part of a ship, to be honest with you. They open their mouth, and before letting you in, actually, they say, yeah, that axe is pretty weird. Looks like I can't turn into my fire dragon right now. Very interesting. I can still fire breath. Look, she kind of just shoots a fire breath into the air. But I can't turn into the fire dragon at the moment. This is that axe. I'd like to take a look at it when we land. And then she turns into this massive dragon and then tells you, hop in, as she opens her mouth. You guys want to make insight checks to see if this thing's going to eat you for free? No questions asked. You just stepped in. Maybe the Emperor Alum has set this up 100%.
I am
Ronny
rolling
will
an
insider. Yeah, Ronny will insider.
Nope,
Yeah.
you don't know shit.
You guys are good.
Meh.
This is definitely a friend. This is a Symphony member. What could go wrong?
A Symphony member who's notorious. But Ronny will look and just be like, we're going on a leap of faith here, but gotta say, I always liked a flashy lady, gesturing to the lightning. Let's go on in.
Yeah, and there are lights all up and down inside of this throat, almost as if they're... what's it called when they have the fucking light effect? Luminescent. Very luminescent from the top and the bottom, kind of like a roadway. It allows you in. You can sort of tell that you've been walking longer than her throat is, and yet nothing has really shifted. And then light just sort of pops in, and you're in a bit of a 2020 space. There does seem to be like these 3 slits on each side. You can assume those are the gills, but they're effectively arrow holes. They're where the arrows, the people with the perch, are they called murder holes properly? Actually, probably.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they act as murder holes for you to use ranged weaponry and shoot from. You don't know how that would work because there is this transparent sort of film in front of it. But you can assume she said shoot through it and it should work. But either way, you can see outside as you're inside of this individual. Just like an intercom, you do hear them, but it sounds like they're everywhere. And they can hear everything you say inside of them. She does ask, are you ready?
Bjorn will
let's get out of here.
like put his axe on his back and just kind of sit down and is almost like cradling his little turtle and is just feeding him like little pieces of meat.
Yeah. Okay.
Arthur sits down and tells him, ready as I'll ever be.
The Hierro shoots up into the sky. It's about a couple minutes as they're just floating up. They stop and then they sort of aim. They start sort of preparing themselves. They're filling up a lot of energy from what you can tell. It's like very close to the thrum of Godzilla's blast. From the inside, definitely most prominent, and as muffled and loud as it sounds simultaneously, you feel that there's an electric fire blast that just shoots down, probably bigger than any of the ones she's caused as of yet. She primed it up for like a while. It probably took like a minute, literally, and then when they shot at it, it just left a crater where you would no longer see the summer house of Emperor Alum. She looks up to the sky, and since you've already seen it, she does say, there's a problem. There's like a planet crossing by. What the fuck? This is what they say.
I'd avoid it.
Yeah, no, I can't
don't trust
fly
whatever
towards
it is.
it. I have to go around it. I have to now go to a different part of this planet and then escape it. But if I leave the atmosphere around here, I might get sucked into that one. Like I don't want to deal with that. So then they tell you their plan is to now rush away from where this planet is, which is going to take a while still being inside of the AN7, and then they'll have to jump out of the atmosphere to take the route to space and then go to AN, which is still going to be another 3 hours. So they're effectively saying, yeah, it's going to take me like an hour, maybe 2, to clear the distance properly, to not get hit with a gravity well.
It's
Wait
fine.
this one, we can wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Plus, this gives me an opportunity to introduce my new pal Carzer. He then telepathically tells Carzer of my little friends that might help them.
So to teach my little turtle like commands while we're doing this, what would you do? You want me to roll something?
They're too small to be taught commands at the moment. Really, they're just a money sink. Feed it.
Okay.
Let it grow. But yeah. What do you tell Carzer, Arthur? Arthur, you there? Okay. Hopefully I didn't do this. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, great. If we will get on this dragon and we drive it for a while, there will be a moment where while this place isn't exactly green, it isn't devoid of it, which clues you in automatically that this isn't Aeon. But for the lack of towers and buildings and cityscape stuff, really, this place has several. Yeah, it's just pockets of land that are either all sand or all green or all sort of splintered rock that seems to maybe have been drilled in and stuff. Maybe fracking has been involved in this planet. There's an array of disheveled or abandoned vessels of many sizes and types. Most of them having been scavenged nearly 100% already. All you see is the bones. But you'd see a bunch of creatures floating around, probably towards a more town-like area, and that's around where Yero is sort of preparing. She didn't inform you. She's preparing to start going up towards the zenith to leave the atmosphere of this planet so that they could head towards Aeon, unless you guys tell them otherwise.
Onward.
Onward she goes, and into space. There's a bit of a loss of air, or at least it feels like there's a loss of air for a moment, because all of you just sort of float. So instinctively you grab at your chest, but then realize, oh no, I could still breathe. And then there's this, how would I say, lack of gravity that succumbs you. The stomach of Yero seems to flatten down a bit, and it gives you guys just more than enough space for you guys to, if you have to, just push yourself 5 feet and you're down, or if you wanted to be higher, just push yourself 5 feet and you're touching the ceiling. But they basically did a low ceiling situation for you people.
Ronny will look at Bjorn and go, "Hey, watch this," and he'll actually do the motion with momentum to do a backflip and just kind of go in a 0G spin.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
Sweet.
And then make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, those are nat ones.
I need that Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. You have spun yourself way more than you wanted. All we hear is Ronny go, whoa, whoa.
17 con save.
You're holding it in. You're holding it in this enclosed space, thankfully. But that could have gone bad.
Ronny's just kind of like after he slows down, he goes, that's normally a lot more fun than what that just was, but you get the idea.
If you throw up inside of a stomach, is it technically still throw up?
I mean, that's a good question.
I don't think that is. I think it's kind of like re-digesting what's already been digested.
Oh, no, that's horrible. It's what the dogs do. They throw up and they just eat it again. I'm like, no. No, buddy, you don't want that again. It made you feel bad the first time. All right.
Just said it's baby birding it.
Oh no.
It's baby birding it from the inside.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Thankfully, it didn't happen. That's not canon, guys. As
I mean, Ronny could spin again and get that one and chuck.
That I'm 1 in 400. I dare you to. But
Ronny spins again. Oh, that time it was good.
This time you just land perfectly on the wall, and then you're just bouncing yourself around a couple times. You're having a little too much fun with it. At one point, Yero says, "Could you relax a little bit, just a little bit, please? You're making me nauseous out here."
Yeah, all right. I'll stop.
Yeah.
Well,
that'd be bad if we got grouped into space.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur looks at Carzer and tells it, and telepathically tells him, "Would you ever heard of the Court of Horns?"
I, sir, have not heard of the Court of Horns, which is strange because this is my homeland.
Arthur kind of tells him, kind of fingers towards his head, noggin, and then tell him, as well as telepathically telling him, think of your response, please.
Well, I mean, either way, Carzer has heard of the Court of Horns. In fact, he's a member of the Court of Horns because Lita Urdum made him an honorary member for freeing Ayala.
All right.
So Carzer too has a badge of some way, shape, or form. You may decide what that looks like. It has a symbol of the Court of Horns, easy for you to show off, but hard for others to identify unless you decide to show it off. Thus, I mean, you had to be part of the Court of Horns to get the quarter of a mil or
Reward.
tenth of a mil, to be honest with you. But either way,
it's gonna be a 12-sided medallion that he'll wear on his belt.
Yeah, very nice.
Covered by the scale mail, unless he wants to show it off.
Okay. It doesn't take long.
From the background.
Mm.
From the background, you guys hear Ronny go, "Bjorn, you should try this. Just one more. Do a spin."
Does Bjorn spin?
Bjorn will look at Ronny, hand his turtle to Ronny, and go, child's play. And he will attempt to front flip.
Athletics or acrobatics? No, that'd be acrobatics only, sorry.
Oh, damn it.
That would have been an awesome roll, though.
Oh, too bad. Roll again. You land, but you land with a wobble. In space, you should have done that a little better.
Himself, and he'll look at Ronny and go, like I said, child's play.
Arthur looks at both of them and tells Ronny and Bjorn and tells him, "Would you two please not do that? I would prefer not to be spit out into the cold, hard part of space. Thank you very much."
Oh,
You're only
Arthur,
saying that because
little-
you gave up the spacesuit, Arthur. Anyways, that's the DM saying. No one said that to you. As you arrive 3 hours later, technically 4 hours later, it sort of feels like you could take a long rest in here in half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a long rest.
Sweet.
Now we have our health points back.
Long rest, yay!
And I can shoot acid arrow again.
Yay!
Spell slots.
Very nice. I'm almost tempted to say, hey, take a long rest, but don't take any of your spell slots.
Oh, come
but
on.
No. She's powerful enough around this time, so she actually could give you spell slots at this point. Yeah, so you guys would arrive to Ayan. Would you direct her on where to go, Ronny?
Yeah, he would. Except he doesn't really want to land a dragon right in front of Mom's house, so he would try to get her to go to wherever a landing pad would be for ships or something.
So you tell me. Now I know there's Ayan, a whole planet that's basically New York City all around. Just think of if someone put on every single acre a building for no reason and just it's encapsulating the entire planet, and it just looks silver at this point if you look at a telescope towards that
Ronnie's
camera.
Family lives there, but they would probably live on the outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
where it wouldn't. I would imagine like the city is probably where a lot of the rich people go, or the people that are somebody. They're people moving money around. They're
Yes.
white collar kind of folks, the nobles, the
Mm-hmm,
guildsmen.
mm-hmm.
They live in the heart of the city, where normal people probably would live either on like the outer ring of it, or maybe out towards like smaller towns and things that would kind of like surround it.
Yeah, and
And I
the
think
small
that's where,
towns are really they're large comparatively to a lot of other places, but they still have that small town aesthetic in Aeon, and they're hard to find really because it's sort of how would I put it, segregated from the cityscape type thing, because anybody living in those rural type areas definitely don't want to see too much of their horizon being blotted out. So while again 90% of this planet is city, a lot of it has to be the in between, and that in between, those travel spots, though, that's where your mom kind of picked a place that she fixed up, and it started picking up more business, and more traveling started to happen, and effectively what you guys cater to is I wouldn't say tourists, but more individuals looking to leave the city, and like you're like the first stop kind of deal. Like that's the first stop after a long trip, and then you'd find the inn, and then you'd rest at that inn because you've been probably on your little flight scooter for about 5 or 6 hours already and need to rest. And in that regard, you do have an amazing horizon. You have these sort of like a beautiful light that always shines across, especially during noon time, kind of like, how would I say, it almost looks like there's a halo across the horizon because there's so much metal in this planet that it just reflects heavily, not in an invasive manner, but it just looks like Aurora Borealis forever around where your mom's inn is at. It's a beautiful place to be at. A lot of people come to visit, and there are some part of the more annoying businesses that have come across most recently. I would say would be one of the ships that are sort of taking people from that exact town to see more of the Aurora Borealis and then right back. They use a pretty big ship, and every once in a while, whenever they do have the events, they do it like every once in a month kind of deal, where they would have like 30 people. They pay these rich folks show up, and they just I want you to think of what's his name, the Tesla guy, Elon Musk, how he has like the SpaceX stuff, and he's like, yeah, if people want to pay and go to space, yeah, here's the thing. Effectively that, but just to like go somewhere else in the planet that's just out in the outskirts of the city.
That's a cash grab.
Yeah, it is. You pointing that out to Yero, she's gonna first say, so we don't want to go to the city? Sure. We could not go to the city. We could go, yeah, wherever you want to be dropped off. That's fine with me.
Ronny will look at her, or well, he'll kind of like glance around the inside of her.
Yeah.
And just be like, do I sense a air of judginess here?
No. Wherever you want, it's fine. I mean, honestly, you did me a whole favor with getting rid of the summer house. I was already planning to destroy it. You gave me the inn. I just figured you guys would want to see Zeit, given how close you guys are to them.
Look, everybody who wants to go to the Silver City, I mean, either they're rich or they're trying to get rich and they're up to no good. I've had my fill of that place. It's not great. You know, you're asking for trouble by going there. Better to be around honest folks, really. But to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
So what happened? Sorry, I had to get the cats away.
The cat's away. Nothing has happened yet. We arrive to essentially she's gonna land like 1,000 yards away. No, more than that. She doesn't. You said you don't want. Yeah, she's gonna land very far away. You guys are gonna have to take an hour trip, unless you say otherwise. Like she'll get as close as you want, but really, how close do you want this massive dragon to get? To.
Well, I don't want to freak out like the denizens of like, Aeon,
I mean,
but,
dragons are a common occurrence. Like, no, here's the thing. In like Aeon, sometimes even in port, maybe less in port because the dragons are sort of. No, yeah, even in port, like people sometimes don't even bat an eye on a dragon flying around. You know?
Okay.
It's when they're swooping down and causing malice. Really, it becomes a problem.
Ronny doesn't want to draw a whole lot of eyes, but if it's more common than what he's thinking, then yeah, just close but not being like, guess
a few bucks away.
Yeah, something like that. We could probably get in pretty close if there's a designated landing zone.
Okay. She'll do 10 minutes out
in our town. Yeah.
Yeah, because there isn't a designated landing zone to your town. It is not big enough, but there is a permit that has gone through to try to get one in, because they're trying to get the they call it the Giga Ship travel company. They really want a platform for their massive ship. But in order to placate for that massive ship, they'd have to like make a kind of the landing area to equip 3 other ships at the same time, which is weird when you kind of just look out to the horizon and like there's just land everywhere. Just land. Just
yeah.
You have the space. Just fucking land. This is not like you're in a city where you have to land on an appropriate sized building, and then you have to go through security, and then you have to do this paperwork. Yeah. This is why people like to step away from the cities. Less problems. And easily enough, let's take you to what could be your home.